I'm going to call the meeting to order now. Is that all right with everybody?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
so 7:02. Dan? You want to lead us in a pledge of allegiance?
See if I can get it on the screen.
Got the flag? Okay. All right. Who says in the words? I pledge
Pledge
allegiance to
allegiance to the flag of the United
States of
States
America and to the
to the
republic
republic
for
for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
one
One
nation,
nation,
Under
under
God.
God,
with liberty and justice for all. Kind of out of practice with that. I get it mixed up with the Apostles' Creed from Mass. That's no good. That's no good. Okay, thank you, Dan. And thank you for reviving that in our meetings. It's good. Okay, item 2 on our agenda is public participation. Do we have a member of the public here who would like to participate? Okay. Not hearing anything, we will move on to item 3, approval of the minutes. Did you
I
all
make
get
a
them?
motion. I make a motion to approve the minutes from the March meeting.
Second,
I second it.
any discussion? No? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Now, item 4 is our the issue before us is the historical house markers. I still haven't found a vendor that was to our satisfaction in terms of price and everything. Jen, you had been doing a little bit of research on that. Had you found anyone? No. I think you're on mute.
How's that? Is that
That's
better?
better. That's better.
Okay, all
Thank
right.
you.
Now, yeah, I've been looking around. I've been looking mainly on Etsy. And the people that I'm finding are 2, 3, 4 times more expensive than what the last person was charging. And quite honestly, they weren't as nice. But I kind of keep looking around and maybe I'll hit something. I'm happy to send what I found so far, so someone else can take a look and see if that's helpful. But
Yeah, I had found a couple of names of people that were kind of in the area, with some historical societies and commissions and the people that sell this or manage the sign program in other communities, in Ipswich and Salem and other places. What some of them have been doing is offering just a list to people, you can use this vendor or that vendor, but that removes an element of control from us. And it was just so ideal with the gentleman that we all had and who served, I think, 40 different communities. It's not like it's a big business. I think he made a comfortable little side. It was like a side gig for him. But at any rate, when last we met, or since then, Fran, you had.
Yeah. I
Uh,
have the one as a template. And
Right.
Joe thinks that he can get 10 houses out of a sheet of plywood.
Okay,
And it would just be the molding to make the top. And then the gentleman who is from town, the painter, would he be
Mhm.
willing to do that, to paint them? Do the lettering?
I think David Workman, the man who is in town, had made one template, and it took him quite a bit of time. So we have
Right.
one from him that is ready to go. However, I didn't feel like, because it's involving, money and stuff like that, I didn't feel like I could go ahead unilaterally and there is one lady who has been waiting for a sign. If it would be okay with everyone on the commission, if I were to just say, well, you can make out your check to David Workman for, I think we'd raise it to $75 because it did take him quite a lot of time to do that. And then we would have at least her order filled. How does everybody feel about that? Would that be okay?
That sounds fair. I mean, I think that
Okay.
if she does it, there's a price increase for the application.
Yeah, she would, yeah, I'm not even sure if she's still interested in it because it's been a long time. Because the prices are so high from everybody that I've heard from on handcrafted signs of this kind. We could get little plaques banged out with vinyl letters, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. And we have had, we have done that in the past. They didn't hold up that well. And we had them from a local vendor, and I ended up having to run around to people's houses delivering signs, not doing that anymore. The ideal thing is to have the people send their check made out to the vendor, whoever it is, and then we just forward it on. We don't want any kind of checks made out to the town of Wakefield, because if they were to the historical commission, they'd have to be to the town of Wakefield. And then the town of Wakefield would have to pay the vendor. That would be a mess. So the horns of the dilemma that we're on right now, Fran, if Joe could make 10 signs, we have to reimburse him for that.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about that. It was more of kind of filling the gap while we were looking for somebody to do this long term.
Right, it's just temporary.
Right.
Right.
So, and he didn't think it would be hard. He just hasn't had a chance to sit down and do it. So if David could do the one for the person who's waiting,
Right.
get that off, take care of that. And then if you can ask David if he would do the lettering, if we get any more requests,
Right.
we could go about it that way until we have a permanent solution.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
But what are we charging?
Whatever you want to charge.
See,
Don't-
that's
don't
the thing.
If you want to do the $75, that's fine. Don't worry about the cost of the 10 signs. We'll take care of that.
Well,
That will be my donation until we get this all straightened out.
okay, but see, David wouldn't charge that much for just doing the lettering. So,
Yeah, all right. Okay, so then we'll have to figure it out. Okay. But if
Yeah.
75 is fair, so
Right.
75, and then he can figure out what his cost is for the lettering and then get reimbursed. We can figure that all out. I'm not worried about that. I was more
All right.
concerned about making
So
sure we
we
didn't have this gap and lose people's interest in doing it.
right, it has really handicapped the whole, it's like put a dead stop on
Yeah.
the whole thing because we wanted to advertise it. And in fact, we had our flyer that was going into the light bills just after the man died. So that didn't happen. Otherwise, we would even have been in worse shape.
Right.
now. So just to clarify, should somebody want to buy a sign, we will have them, if David is amenable to doing the lettering.
Right.
We'll have them make out the check to him and
Yeah.
he will reimburse you guys for the sign, for
That's
the,
totally fine. Yep.
Okay,
That's totally fine. Yeah, you work with David and,
all right. Or whoever
will-
it is, whoever
Yeah.
else we can find.
right. I'll
No,
get
okay.
somebody working on those 10.
The lettering on the sign, is that just like a plaque that fits inside that like a house?
It looks like
No.
it is hand lettered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people can decide, the people had up to 3 lines that they could put in. At the bottom, it says Wakefield Historical Commission. Often the people just want to say the date.
Mhm.
So that's simple. And that's, that's very simple.
Because I
But,
was, you know, the guy that lives on Park Street that makes the birdhouses? He's about halfway up Park Street, but he makes all the different colorful birdhouses. I think his name is John Cooper. You might ask him, maybe he would make those little, and it would just be a matter of putting that insert inside that would be hand painted. What's
Well, the
his
whole
name
thing-
again?
the whole thing is it's painted on the whole sign, on the sign
Yeah.
itself. And then safeguarded by marine grade polyurethane going over it to make sure that the letters stay there. But your point is well taken. We do have a volunteer for 10, so I think we'll stick with that. But that is,
Yeah, if you go halfway up Park Street, look on the left, it's about halfway up, and he's got the birdhouses up in front. And I mean, they're colorful, they look like little motels for birds, actually. He makes all, custom birdhouses. There's something to, but his name is John Cooper. And I think if maybe you go on Facebook, you might get his Facebook account selling the birdhouses. Some of them are extremely elaborate.
okay. Well, we will take Fran and Fran's husband, Joe, up on that, on their offer first.
That's
since
if he'd like to do it, I mean, just, he's the type of guy that would do it, so.
So as long as, so Nancy, just follow up with David and see if he's willing for the short term
Right,
to paint them
right.
and do the lettering for anybody who wants them, then we're okay for the time being. And we need to come up with a permanent.
Solution, yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted to nail down this money thing because I didn't feel like that it would be appropriate for me to just decide without having the whole commission discuss it.
Yeah, I think 75 is reasonable. I mean, it's, you know, it's-
Considering Jen has found them being offered for
right.
$240 or something like that.
So as long
Okay,
as it covers David's expenses,
right,
then that's fine.
okay, all right, that sounds good. So thank you. I don't know if we need a vote on that. It's not any expenditure by the commission, but I think we're all in agreement. Right?
Yes,
Right.
Okay, all right.
Can you send me over a picture of it, though? So I'll just talk to like John and just see what he has to say, maybe in the future,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I have one on a chair in my downstairs. We got
Again,
one for the house
got-
and,
So,
Can you see?
yeah.
oh,
There
good.
it is.
Can you see it?
And he
Yes.
can, one of those, huh? Good
Yeah.
luck.
Oh, you're right. If he's making birdhouses,
Yep.
he has the shape already. And this
Right,
is a piece of trim that gets added. But the whole thing, it's a nice heavy duty painting job. And then it's somebody who is artistic to be able to do the lettering.
Yeah,
That's the hard part.
that's the key. Yeah, yeah. But I'll send you a picture too,
Okay.
Dan. Okay. All righty. All right, then we'll go down to other matters. The master plan is, they're working on a new master plan for the town. I'm sure you've heard about it. There is a master plan survey that is available for you to take if you haven't taken it already, accessible through the town's website on the main page of it, wakefield.ma.us. It's open until tomorrow. So if you want to be heard in this initial survey, I encourage you to go ahead and do that. Only takes a few minutes, and I think it's important for us to, participate in everything like that. Also, a lot of attention is coming in from a little house that is for sale at Four Corners. The house is 113 Salem Street. And in the past month and a half, I've received 8 phone calls and several emails as well. So from a lot of different people who have a lot of interest in the house. It's very, very small. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. It was built between 1840 and 1857. And it even has a name. It's called the David Nichols House. So I anticipate that probably will sell pretty soon, and we might be hearing from somebody who wants to do something to it.
What's the cross street? Salem and
Salem and Vernon.
Salem and Vernon. Thank you.
It's right at
go
that
check.
scary intersection.
I'll go take a picture of it and email it to everybody.
Don't get hurt, Jean. It's a pretty terrifying intersection. It's very, very small. It's quite charming, and it is an antique house.
Good.
While I'm thinking about it, probably all of you or many of you might get the item and read the item. And you do so, Jean. You get it from your neighbor.
No, I don't. He stopped taking it.
Okay. Well, I think we've been very fortunate in the past little while that we have had the attention and the help from our town councilor, Ed Dombrowski, who it's been great to have him on our side, on our team. And I think Dan is probably responsible for making that happen. But I think we need to be, because there's definitely a gap of information coming to us in things that are going on in town, on the planning board and on the Board of Appeals, that may be things happening to historic houses or historic neighborhoods that I think we need to be aware of. So I guess I wanted one of you or somebody or everybody who is active in town affairs and following the Wakefield Daily Item, perhaps, to be alert to these things and to bring them to our attention. So do I have a volunteer for that? No,
Yeah,
Dan,
I get the paper, and
you get it?
I do get the paper, and I can read it and forward any information that comes up about whether it's the zoning committee or zoning appeals.
Anything that would be relevant for us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which is would be great. And Dan, I know you have your ear to the ground all the time also. So
Except during the summer.
except during the summer. Well, maybe last summer, I think he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you hear something, because there's a lot going on all the time, and I do not get the item, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, for those of you who do get the item, I think usually the second page, sometimes the fourth page, they have one looking back column, and it's usually a full page. And I think it's Elaine Worthley that puts it on, but it's looking back years ago, the 1930s, 40s, what happened, item clippings, but that's somebody that I'd like to get a hold of. I don't know what her phone number is, but.
Well, I corresponded with her when she first took that job. And of course, it used to be Buddy Kahane who did it and had the looking backward column for probably 50 years.
I don't know where she gets her info from, because I always thought that the item used to have that barn in the back of their building, a white barn, and I thought they threw away all the old archive stuff.
I
So she
I
must be
think
getting,
that they have the old items there.
Yeah.
In books in the basement. The basement is vast.
yeah. I think she might be getting it off a microfilm off the library or something.
Well,
But,
that could be.
Very, yeah.
On my computer, I don't know how it got on. It's called Page. It comes up on my screen and I click on it, and sometimes there's information about Wakefield. For instance, recently there was information about the 50 best high schools in the whole state. And I was disappointed Wakefield wasn't on the list.
Well, Gene,
Called Page.
if they build a new high school for $250 million, maybe we'll be on that list.
Well,
Unfortunately, our tax bills will be going up.
staggering, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I know all about that.
Fortunately, we'll be here.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of put a bug in all of your ears about that, to kind of keep informed about it and inform us, if you could, so that we're better able to face the challenges that come up. The recent thing about the floor away path and everything came to our attention kind of accidentally through concerned citizens, which thank God they did. And I think I hope that it will have a happy outcome for us. I think it will. I think it's kind of unfortunate that they started the work right when the floor away was kind of bursting into bloom. But it has the promise of they're planting new plantings. And so I think it's definitely going to be a good thing. I hope so anyway. Okay, Kathleen and Dan have been appointed to 3-year terms. Congratulations, Kathleen. We see you're here.
Thank you.
And-
Sorry.
That's okay. And Dan,
I think we all got to take that ethics test again, so,
the ethics test?
yeah.
Okay. Well, since we've had new appointments, we need to have organization. So does anybody want to have a move up in status in this commission?
What do you mean, Nancy?
Can you,
Does anybody want to serve as the chair or the secretary of the commission? If not, we can have nominations.
I nominate Nancy Bertram as chair.
Thank you, Dan.
I don't-
Anybody else?
I second your motion, Dan.
Okay. Does anybody want to be secretary? I don't know whether to thank you for that or not, Dan. Does anybody want to be secretary? No? All right. Well, then you're all going to be detectives and reporters from the letting us know what's happening in the rest of the town. And that is actually all I have for today. Does anybody have anything else? Or do we have to have a vote on that?
Okay.
To
Did we
name
have
you the chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably should vote on it to make it official.
Okay, so we had a motion, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. I thank you, I think. And with that, I think we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Do you want to book next month's meeting day?
Oh, sure, Jean.
You want the 4th or the 5th Tuesday? There are 5 Tuesdays in May.
What do you think, Fran?
It should be the 4th.
Okay, that's the 24th of May.
Okay,
Okay, it's okay with me.
And I hope it's 7:30 next month.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be.
Right.
Sherry is so good and has
Oh,
never
yes.
made a mistake before. So
We
we can
all make
assume that
mistakes.
she will be perfection in the future, I'm sure. Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Don't forget the vote today also.
Yeah, everybody, you have 33 minutes to run to the polls. Or maybe it's already closed. I
8
don't
o'clock.
know.
motion to adjourn?
Yep, motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, guys. See you
Stay
next
safe,
month.
everybody.